Hello, Kyle here. You might be noticing that there's only 10 days left in 2014, and there's been a Kyle Paints 2012, a Kyle Paints 2013, and no Kyle Paints 2014. And with only 10 days left in the year, it seems that that's not likely to happen. Yes, that's true. I'm sorry. I've had a very interesting year, actually. There's been, I guess, three main things why you haven't seen a lot of new content out of me this year. First thing, and this is probably the primary reason, is I've been working on the urban landscape style for the better part of 8 years now. Before I started with this, I would always have a primary style and I would sort of work within it, but I would try to push it as far as it could in a bunch of different directions. And it was sort of like I'd have a core of what I knew I could do, and I'd always try to push that to the breaking point, and I produced a lot of paintings that just looked terrible. And I was always trying new things and wasting materials and wasting time and producing crap. When I found the urban landscape style, I just fell in love with it, and everything just felt right, and I knew, this is what I'm supposed to be painting. It was a really wonderful feeling. And I decided, rather than trying to force change and force myself to push it in new directions, I thought I'm just going to turn my brain off and paint as much as I can and just let the work evolve on its own. And I was happy with that, but looking back after the show I had this year, I just started to, I don't want to say I felt tired of that style, but I felt like it could be pushed farther. So I came up with about 4 or 5 different threads or different directions I can take that. And I've been doing a lot of sample images in my studio, sample paintings, a lot of digital sketches, and I've got, I think, about 3 ideas that are, still sitting in the core of what my body of work represents, but they've all pushed it greatly in different directions. I guess the problem I'm running into now is that my primary style has 8 years of development behind it, and I think it's gotten quite refined and pretty good, whereas the new stuff I'm working on is still fresh and new, a little naive, and to be quite frank, kind of crappy looking. So I just need to, it's my standards for myself are up here, and for my old work the quality's up here, but for the new stuff I'm doing, my standards are here and my ability is only here. So a lot of it has just been myself just pumping out samples in the studio and not being happy with them and not showing them. So it's not that I haven't been working, it's just that I've been just doing new things instead of doing, I've got, as I mentioned in another video, some pieces are intended to be practice pieces and other pieces are intended for gallery showing, and I've been doing practice work. And, if a rock band doesn't show them practicing in the studio, I shouldn't have to show you myself practicing in my studio. So that's probably the biggest reason. The other two, one is I actually had a really crappy year a year and a half ago. I suffered a repetitive strain injury to my wrist, and I lost about three or 4 months of production. I went through a whole bunch of fancy physio treatments, and I think my wrist is actually in better shape now than it's been at any point in the last decade, which is pretty amazing with the dexterity and the strength I have now. But a lot of my intuitive motions and gestures were all relied on just feelings inside my wrist, and those are all different. So it was almost like learning to paint all over again. So that has slowed down my progress somewhat. I wasn't anticipating that. The good news is, I think I've gotten myself back up to speed. It's really nice. The extra flexibility and dexterity I have now is pretty awesome. So I'm hoping to be able to hit the studio hard. It's just, I gotta learn how to work this thing all over again. Third and final reason is, well, I've been actually focusing more on photography and video projects. As a result, I've been kind of ignoring my own practice. So yeah, I'm gonna stop that now because no. So anyway, those are the 3 reasons. Plus, I guess the 4th is I have a girlfriend now, and I'm happy and about doing stuff. I'm not just sitting all sad in my studio going, I need to work more, I guess, because it'll take my mind off it. So yeah, 4 reasons. 4. So yeah, my furnace has just kicked on, so I guess it's time for me to stop because this audio is going to start sounding terrible in about 10 seconds. Anyway, thanks for listening, and looking forward to a Kyle Paints 2015. Have a good day.